Okay, we're back. Very nice walk down to the beach. Amazing dawn chorus. Could only see two of the planets. It was getting slightly light by the time I got down there. And I think maybe yesterday was the best day. Anyway, it was very nice. So here we are. And before I go on, I'm going to apologise for... I don't have any fancy camera. I don't have a podcast set up. I don't have a diaphragm mic or whatever. So I'm recording this on a tablet. So when I move it around, I'm afraid it might shake a little. I'll do my best. A lot of the other stuff I'm going to be able to do on my webcam on my computer. So you won't have to deal with that. Anyway, here we are. So, on to the first delicious cleansing... I'm not going to call it a shake. Drink. Right. So, this is the psyllium husk. Okay, which is basically just insoluble fibre. And this is the bentonite clay. So if you don't have any ceramics or pottery, you'll know, add some water to that. You can make a nice pack, put on your face, it can extract whatever. And there are minerals in it, and I think, the skin will absorb it. So, bentonite clay, the mineral is montmorillonite. And that, that is used in cosmetics and, cleansing stuff, Hippies, such as myself, do take it internally. But I must stress, if you're going to try this, okay, very, very small amounts, certainly to start with. And when you do this, you need to drink a lot of water, okay? For instance, worst case scenario, you put a load of this clay in, you drink a shake, you don't drink enough water, and this could actually cause a blockage in your small intestine, which you definitely don't want, okay? So, my drink this morning, in there is about 2.5 level, it's not a tablespoon, is it? But it's a dessert spoon, let's call it. And I've got about half, this is a teaspoon, half a level teaspoon of that. So really not a great deal at all. And I would suggest if it's the first time you're going to do this, don't even use that much. Put a little sprinkle in, because I've never had any really bad reaction or anything, but people do, you can cause sort of cramping and unpleasantness. So start slow, start low, go slow. There you go, as with lots of other things. So I'm going to add the water into this and then stir it. You don't want to stir it with a metal spoon because the montmorillonite, the particles are like platelets, if you like, and they've got a positive charge. I believe the positive charge is on the centre, and around the outside is a negative charge. We're using the psyllium husk, so you've got something to push through your digestive tract. Number one, that stops you getting nasty hunger pangs. You've actually got something in your stomach, even though there's no nutrition going in. And the platelets will obviously be mixed in with that, and they'll get pushed through your intestine, where you've got all these villi. Yeah, so you've got a massive... how big is it? The surface area of our digestive tract is, what is it, as big as a tennis court or something like that, because we've got all these villi, so you've got massive surface area. But of course, if you're eating a lot of animal proteins, things which take a long time to break down, as they pass through the gut, we think once they're in us, well, I'm eating it, I'm digesting it. Well, if you left it out on the side, what would happen to it? It would rot, okay? So the longer it's in your intestines, things will start rotting. And if things get impacted, so they get caught in, trapped in the gut, in between the crevices in the villi, then you've got this putrefying mass, rotting, giving off toxins. And hence, when you look at people who have, and countries who eat a lot of meat, their incidence of colon and stomach cancers are much higher, you know, and there's the link. So this will swell up. Let's pour this water in here now. I'm going to fill that maybe about half full. And I'm going to put a bit more in there. Okay. And then give it a nice good stir up. And you'll see, well, as we go, so it's starting to float to the top. And already, you probably can't quite tell, it becomes sort of gelatinous. Now, the psyllium husk also absorbs a lot of water, and as, right, yeah, you might even be able to hear, it becomes gloopy. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This had better be fucking good for you, because it is unpleasant. Okay, it's unpleasant. So these platelets and the charges on the platelets from the montmorillonite go through the gut and act like a magnet. They grab on to anything which is stuck in there, and as the psyllium husk and bentonite clay gets pulled through the digestive tract, it will actually pull this stuff out of the gut, and away you go down the toilet. Marvellous. Because you don't want it in you, you want it out. Okay. Now, the first time I did this was in India. I don't even know how, well over 10 years ago, 12, 13 years ago. And at that point, I'd never done any kind of colon cleansing or any cleansing at all, really, or any fasting. And I did a 5-day fast, drinking 3 or 4 of these a day. And by the second day, you know, if you haven't eaten anything, well, any food that you've eaten over the past, you know, before you started, well, that's been pushed through, you know. So whatever's in the gut is just what's sort of left in there, stuck in there. And I remember day 3 and day 4, you know, if it goes in that colour, you'd expect it to come out pretty much that colour, wouldn't you? You know, there's nothing left in the gut. Should come out kind of greyish, whitish. Well, folks, it was coming out black, like a tar. And the smell, I know we all like to think that our own shit doesn't stink, eh? Or it's pleasant, and obviously that's because of the, you know, the symbiotic relationship between our gut biome and ourselves. You know, it's part of us, if you like. It's not us, but it's part of us. And it's a very important part of us. And obviously the gases and stuff like that, so you think, oh, actually I quite like that. That's not bad, is it? And other people are like, oh, dude, don't like your gut bacteria, I like my gut bacteria, okay? Well, if I could have stuck my head out of the toilet window whilst I was on the toilet, I would have done. Actually, if I could have cut my head off to stop myself smelling whatever that was coming out of me, I would have done it, okay? It was the worst smell I've ever experienced coming out of any biological organism. I've never smelt anything like it. And on the 5th day, when I broke my fast, 3 people on separate occasions said to me, "You look, what have you been doing? You look really good." I said, I've just been fasting. They're like, no. There's something different about you. Well, there was something different about me. All of this putrid, toxic gunk that had been stuck in me for 30 odd years was gone. So I know people are, oh, hippie nonsense cleansing, blah, 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 blah. I don't care, okay? Who am I going to believe? You and your own misconceptions, or my own personal experience? Gee, let me think a minute. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Oh, okay. I'm putting some more water in there, folks, because that, like I said, as it passes the gullet, you do tend to get the gag reflex. So, bottoms up. Okay. Fantastic. So there we go. Now, I also do have, let me bring it over here, a home enema kit. Yummy. So, I'm going to perform some normal morning ablutions this morning. And then I think I'm going to pump a bit of coffee up my bum. And, yeah, see how we go. And then I'll get online and do a bit more explaining. I think I need to introduce myself a bit to those of you that don't know me. Hope you're enjoying it so far, and see you soon.